Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a story time on the day that I gave birth to my wonderful and sweet boy Daniel, my poppers. So this did happen like 4 years ago, or well, about to be 4 years ago. And so I'm gonna try to remember as much as I can, and I'm also gonna just try to make this video not too long because I know I just can talk and talk and talk. So let's just get right into it. So I did take some notes just so that I don't forget some things that I want to mention in this story. So I did give birth to him on September 13, 2016. So we're gonna go to the day before that. I had went to the doctors and they checked me down there and I was 1 centimeter dilated. I don't remember how much he faced, but they told me like quite a lot. I just don't remember the exact number. So I was really happy because I did go into that appointment. I remember going into that appointment like thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna be anything, you know. But she checked me when she told me. I was so happy. So I was a couple days away from my appointment, from my due date. So I was like excited that stuff was happening. And so yeah, so later on I went home and I did have like my mucus plug come out. But yeah, that's kind of all I remember. I would have like the normal Braxton Hicks or whatever. So before having my son, I do remember like I specifically remember like wanting to go out to eat with my husband, Junior. I just really wanted to go out to eat with him, just me and him before we had the baby, so that it can be like our last going out. So we didn't quite, go out, but we did have a Subway. And I remember, just because it was so special to me, and something else I'm going to mention ahead of my story, but yeah, so we went out to eat to Subway, and that was like really good. That was just something I really wanted to do before the baby. And I also remember always thinking like my water was gonna break because I would move a lot during the night. I have a hair on me somewhere right here, poking me. But yeah, so I do remember just feeling like my water was gonna break, and thinking that it was just gonna happen while I was like turning in bed or something, because I would just turn so much. That was just something I always thought throughout my pregnancy. I don't know why, but I wanted to mention that as well. So that night, that before going to sleep, I remember thinking like, oh, I should probably put a towel on like my sheets just in case my water were to break on the bed. And I was like, you know, why would I even get lucky enough for my water to break on like how I thought about it. So I didn't like do anything, but I do remember like Junior talking to the baby, telling him like, oh, come on, Papa's like, come already, I want to meet you, and I don't want to go to work tomorrow, so like just come. And I just remember like that specific talk, and it was like so sweet. So then the next morning I would always wake up my husband to go to work, because it's a hardcore sleeper. He will not wake up with any alarm, so I would be his alarm, so I would literally wake him up. So I remember waking him up like at 5 something in the morning. Just saw somebody. What's the man? Anyways, so I do remember waking him up in the morning, and I remember feeling the urge to like poop and pee. And obviously he was feeling the same way, because he was doing the same thing. When I woke him up, he went straight to the bathroom and he was doing his thing. And so I was telling him, I was like, Junior, hurry up, I have to go to the bathroom, I really like have to poop and pee. And it was weird because I never really pooped that early in the morning. It was like 5 in the morning. TMI, but yeah, that's the truth. And I remember having leftover Subway, because I never ever finished my Subway. So I remember sitting on the bed thinking like, when is this guy gonna get out of the bathroom, and thinking I'm gonna eat my Subway when he goes to work. So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, Junior, you have to get up. You have to, like, you go. So I remember him just be like, all right, I'm done. And I'm like laying on the side, like on my bed, but I'm like on my side. So all of a sudden, I start feeling like a little gush, and I'm like, am I really peeing on myself? So I got up, and I remember I had like these little happy face booty shorts on, and I remember getting up, and I got up, and then I felt like a gush come out, which felt like really warm pee. And I look over to my bed, and there's like a little bit of blood with what I thought was pee. So I like could not believe it. I was just like stuck, and I was like, Junior, I either think I peed on myself or like my water broke. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, like there's blood on the bed, and I'm like, I just gushed out what it felt like pee. So I still had the urge to poop. I went to the bathroom. But by the way, I forgot to mention that we did take birthing classes. So the lady did give me like a little strip of that you would check like if it was amniotic fluid or if it was pee, and it was supposed to turn black if it was amniotic fluid. And I remember checking, and it would turn black instantly, so I was okay, definitely my water. But since I wasn't having any pains or anything like that, Junior was still getting ready for work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Junior, like we're not going you're not gonna go to work, we're going to the hospital, like I think I'm gonna have the baby today. So whatever, I go to the bathroom, I finish pooping, but I kind of like cut myself from pooping because I just was too excited, and I had to like, get our bags ready and get ready and everything. So I do remember just cleaning up some, like washing some dishes, and at this point I had no contractions. My water had just broke, and I had like thrown out some trash and just did a couple things. We got our bags, and we took a picture, which I'll insert here. We took a picture before like leaving, and so we I guess we needed gas, so we went to the gas station. We got gas. I was still not feeling contractions at the gas station. I do specifically remember Junior calling his work, telling them that I was going into labor and that he wasn't going to be coming to work. And so we go on, and the drive is not that far from the hospital, 15-20 minutes maybe. But I do remember that I I started feeling contractions. And let me retract, I forgot to mention that after I did get out of the bathroom, I did call my sister because my sister was going to be in the delivery room with us. So right after I had gotten out of the bathroom of pooping, I had called my sister, and I had told her that my water broke. And she was about to go to work, and so she also called out, and she came straight over here. So on our way, fast forwarding it to the where I was at. So we're going to the hospital, and I remember I start feeling contractions. They start coming a little slow, and then they just start getting like stronger, and like just they hurt so bad. And I remember calling my mom, and like not even really being able to talk to her. I just kind of remember telling her like, hey mom, I'm having the baby, my water broke. And she's like so excited. And this was like at 6 something in the morning, maybe even 7. So yeah, so she was like, oh mija, like I love you, and God bless you, and call me. And I was like, okay mom. Like I felt so bad, kind of just like killing the conversation or whatever, but I was in so much pain I couldn't even talk anymore. So then we got to the like this red light, and I remember just being like, Junior, like honk at them, tell them to move out of the way because I'm like the pain is getting stronger. So we got to the hospital, and when we got to the hospital, he tried dropping me off in the front, but I hate attention on me. Like I don't like it. I feel awkward. I don't know what to do. So it's like, no, like don't drop me off in the front. Like park the car and we'll walk together. Like I don't want to be alone. So whatever, as we're walking to the hospital after parking, like we keep stopping, and he's like, you see this why I told you that I should have just dropped you off. I was like, no, Junior, just shut up. Let me be. Like, let's go. So finally we go inside the emergency room. They ask me like normal questions. How far are you? And all that. And so I was like, I've been talking a little too much. I need some water. But anyways, they put me in like a wheelchair, and at that point I can no longer like really talk at all during my contractions. So they wheeled me up to where I'm supposed to be, and they're checking me, and they're like, you know, honey, you're definitely having contractions. You're like, we're about to admit you and do all that. So at that point, I believe my sister got there, and so they moved me to a room that was really close to the entrance. So I was kind of like just like pushing and like humming, and then at some point I started, oh my gosh, this thing is really gonna bother me. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it does not move anymore. Okay, so at this point I'm just like in so much pain. I am like screaming. I'm like, oh my gosh, like give me the epidural. Where's the epidural? And I felt what felt like forever. My husband and my sister, they kept like walking to the door and acting like they're calling people, but they had already told them like a couple times that I needed the epidural, and they were like, you know, busy or whatnot. So I was like, I kept looking over and just seeing that they would just walk back. I'm like, you guys, like, give me the pajama. I was literally screaming, like how you hear those ladies or watch those ladies on movies screaming. That was me. I was like, I'm so embarrassed because we were right in the entrance, but I was in so much pain. It was not even funny. Like the contractions were getting so bad, and I remember like leaving like my fingernail prints on their hands from like holding on so tight to them, and it was just like it was not good. So finally so this is a debate that my sister and Junior have going on, and since all my paperwork is put away, I can't see what the exact time is, but my sister swears I got the epidural around 9 a.m., but my husband swears I got it around 11. I don't know because I was so lost. Okay, so finally they gave me the epidural after I don't know how many hours. And right after they gave it to me, okay, so while they were giving it to me, I was having a contraction. And I remember the nurse holding me, and then like she was the one telling me, she's like, you know what, honey, she told me, imagine this contraction being your last contraction. Right when she said that, I was like, okay. I took a deep breath. They did the epidural, finally starts kicking in, and then I started getting happy again. I was so grateful. I was telling the one that did the epidural, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, you just saved my life because I was in so much pain. So finally they gave me the epidural, and they checked me right away, and I was actually 9 centimeters, which I had no idea I was 9 centimeters. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you could have done it natural, like you were already that far. I wish I would have known, but they hadn't even checked me while I was over there yelling and screaming and whatnot. So I was 9 centimeters. Explainable why I was in so much pain screaming. But yeah, so finally they ended up, I started getting hungry, but also very tired. So they did tell me that they were gonna, wait till the baby drops down a little bit, and they were gonna go on like a lunch break to take a nap and not to worry. Well, I took a nap. I remember just telling them like, I'm hungry, and because I never ate that damn Subway, right? But finally, I remember around, like, I don't even know what time, to something, they come in the room finally. So all those hours passed. Believe me, I took a nap. I just rested, I needed all that energy to push. So finally they checked me, and they're like, all right, honey, you're at a 10, and you're ready to push, so like let's start getting you ready. And I just remember that feeling, that overwhelming feeling of like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to meet my son. And like it felt that whole day just felt like a dream, like literally feels like a dream. So cherish that moment when you're having your baby, because it is the most beautiful day that you will never ever forget. So finally they come in, you know, they get in position, my sister on one side, hubby on the other side, and finally the doctors come in, they put lights down there, and everyone's looking at your hoo-ha. So finally, they start telling me to push. I don't remember how many times I pushed, but it wasn't very many. I do remember that as I'm pushing, like they would say that the head was coming out, but like it would go back in when I would stop pushing. So they're like, all right. So I remember Junior's like, you know what, push, and right after, push again. So I did exactly what he said because the doctors were hearing him say something to me and they didn't care, you know. So I just did what he said. They were just telling me to keep pushing. So I went ahead and did that. And right when I did that, you just feel like this blob like come out of you. And finally, like they put him on my chest and he starts crying and I start crying like a little baby. And I'll be posting pictures here, inserting pictures. But yeah, it was like this feeling that I can't even explain, but the best I can explain is this falling in love feeling that I don't think you can ever like, there's nothing in the world that can I don't know, replace that, or like not replace that, maybe I'm saying the wrong words, but like you'll never feel that with anything else. Not, there's nothing else in the world than feeling or seeing your baby for the first time, or you know, feeling him on your chest. Like that is the most wonderful feeling in the world. And so I just remember thinking like, wow, like everything that everyone tells you when you're having a baby, like that you're gonna fall in love and that it's unconditional love and that this protection, you just want to hold them, and like everything is so true, you guys. Everything is so true. And I fell instantly in love. Junior cut the umbilical cord, and it was it was beautiful. My sister was crying. She was like, she was calling my mom on FaceTime, and I don't even know what was said because I was so overwhelmed with all these emotions when I gave birth to him. And so then right after, they do like the golden hour where you hold the baby for like an hour before they like even weight the baby or anything, as long as the baby looks like fine, you know. So finally they ended up doing that. My sister ended up picking up like one of my tias so that she could come to the hospital and meet the baby. And I remember the nurse finally came in with a sandwich because we were hungry, and I shared half of it with hubby, so we both ate half of a sandwich. So yeah, that's what happened. And later on, family members came over. A couple family members came over, and that was really nice to have them all meet baby Daniel. And we were over the moon with him, and still are. We're still in love with him. But yeah, so now he is 4 years old. So he was born 2:40 p.m. and he weighted 7 pounds 7 ounces and was 19.5 inches long, and he was a little bundle of perfection. So yeah, you guys, that is my birth story. I hope I did not leave anything out. He is now 4 years, well, about to be 4 years old in September. And yeah, so I'll be doing my daughters as well, but I'll do that one separate. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time, and until next time, bye.